Let's compare the Carmine Jewel Bush Cherry to the Tillamook Goumi Berry. I'll compare fruit flavor, fruit size, and then tell you when I picked them. We'll take a look at how tall these fruiting shrubs get and how the flowers and fruit survive a late spring freeze. 2026 had a really bad late freeze. That was April 20th. I'll wrap up by describing how drought resistant they are, issues with pests and disease, if any, and if they're a freestone fruit. Welcome to Happy. Hey, this is the Carmine Jewel Bush Cherry. The fruit transition from a green, yellow, orange, and then they turn deep red. That's when you want to pick them. I don't have to go too far for the Tillamook Goumi. Wow, look what's right here. Let's get that leaf out of the way. Put it over my forehead so you can get perspective. Mano to mano. Both fall off the stem just perfectly fine. Both are, by volume, I'd say the bush cherry is a little bigger. Let's get to flavor profile. The thing about the Tillamook Goumi or any Goumi, they go through a transition of colors too, and you want the fruit to be super red and soft. That way it's going to be sweet with zero tartness. Like that one. Any less red, it's going to be tart. Otherwise, the Tillamook Goumi, sweet scarlet also, has the taste of a cherry. Dark red. Wow, that was really tasty. Now, these are going to be, I predict, a hint. See, that even has, if you can see it or not, a little bit of light color to it. This is going to be tart. This one is not dark red. First time on camera. So it's not sweet. If I had to put it on a spectrum, sugar sweet to nasty tart, I put it one hair towards tart from center. One hair towards tart from center is where I'd put this sour cherry at. They're not. I kept reading that. I keep reading sour cherry, sour cherry, sour cherry. Pick them when they're red. I'd say the Tillamook tastes better. Zero tartness. The Tillamook seed is like twice the size. So how tall do these plants get? Well, the sweet scarlet Goumi is already a mature size. She's at least 12 feet tall. I believe the Tillamook Goumi will get that tall too. She was planted several years ago, I think 2022. The Carmine Jewel Bush Cherry is advertised to grow to 6 to 8 feet tall. Now this girl right here is 8 feet tall. She's still going. I think the soil, rich organic soil, is going to push this girl to about 10 feet tall. That's perfectly fine. It will be very easy, by the way. This is not, I didn't include any pruning. You know, both plants really don't need pruning, and I just added that to this whole menu just right off the top of my head. You can really allow them to go naturally. If you're going to prune them, you might want to thin some branches on the inside. I do like to keep the inside clear, open, get good air circulation and access to fruit in the center of the plant. I think you could easily get away with just topping this thing, and I think you could easily do that with a Goumi plant too. You can just top them if you really had to. So height 10 to 12 foot, pruning, which I just threw in there, I think you can kind of top them or just let them go. They're really awesome fruiting bushes. In terms of surviving late spring freezes, there is nothing like these two plants. We had a major deep freeze on April 20th, 2 days. I think it was just one night, down to about 30 degrees, but it hit at just the wrong time. And it just blew up all either young flowers or young fruit. Here's what I'm getting at after I maybe sneeze. Zero impact. That freezing event had zero impact on the Carmine Jewel Bush Cherry, probably all bush cherries, and the Goumi Berry, sweet scarlet, and the Tillamook. Zero impact from that cold weather event. So folks went all in on strawberry. Okay, folks went all in on this, went all in on this. You know, there's some other fruiting plants out there, and the American market for the Goumi berries rather poor. Both of them are incredibly drought resistant. We just had 4 days over 100 degrees, and today was maybe 95 to 98. Okay, well, you really won't be able to tell. I did water the Carmine Jewel and the bush and the Goumi 2 days ago or something because of the heat wave and because of reducing stress. But I mean, there's just absolutely zero wilting. Plants like the fig and a couple other ones, the hazelnut, the American hazelnut, a couple of plants will get a little wilty and a little funky in the extreme heat. Right in the middle of the day, don't matter how much water you give them, their leaves are gonna go, oh my God, it's like hot. But the Goumi and the bush cherry don't miss a beat. Totally drought resistant. Pest and disease. Well, another video that's coming up is about the spotted lanternfly. I have the larvae everywhere. That's gonna be another video. And when I say everywhere, they're only on some fruiting plants and some native trees. So I'm going to go through the property and shoot video of where they congregate, which fruiting plant that spotted lanternfly congregates on, and which plants they don't touch. And can you guess which 2 plants they don't touch? Not only do the spotted lanternfly not touch the Goumi and the Carmine Jewel Bush Cherry, and I believe it'll be true for all bush cherry. There's no aphids on either one. There's nothing. There's no spotted leaf. I've got spotted leaf issues. I'm looking at quince right there, nectarine, peaches, the Bing cherry. If it's not canker, it's leaf spot. Oh my God, the serviceberry and cedar gall. Oh my God. Back to these 2 girls. Nothing is on them. No caterpillar, zero pest, zero disease, nada on both. And if you're in soupy, this is July 5th. Happy birthday, America. I had an awesome celebration on the 3rd. Woo! Cool in the gang. Get it on. Cool in the gang had the place hopping. Oh, and I might have a new girlfriend out there in Broadway or something. No disease. No pest. Nada. Absolutely bulletproof. So in the intro, I mentioned freestone fruit. Freestone fruit is simply fruit that doesn't cling to the seed. The Carmine Jewel Bush Cherry is very much freestone fruit. The Goumi Berry does. The Goumi Berry really wants to kind of stick to that seed. So you got to throw in a whole bunch of fruit in your noggin, swish it around your mouth, and through that action, you'll dislodge the fruit off of the seed, harvest yourself some clean seeds, and have yourself some wonderful fruit. I am all in on the Goumi, particularly the Tillamook Goumi, because it's significantly bigger than the sweet scarlet. Flavors, I would say the exact same. I have learned that I missed the boat on the bush cherry, and I went all in on bush cherry in 2026. I think I bought about 20 different type of plants that had the word cherry in it. It took me forever to wrap my brain around all these bush cherries. So I got meticulous notes, and I really look forward to making that video too. If nothing else, you know, some of this stuff is just, well, me talking to me. Thanks for coming along with the ride, but also just like learning and encapsulating on video. Love you. Bye. What's really weird is last year I came home early May. I hadn't seen Happy for 2 months, and this fruit was, the bush cherry fruit was about the size of a normal cherry, but there was only like 5 fruit. I ate a half of one real quick, Tasted identical to a cherry. I just couldn't believe it. I was just like, oh my God. And then I bought a bunch of different bush cherries. That's gonna be for another video. Takes a solid, if you get a mature plant, takes a solid 4 years before she fruits. And I've got optimal soil, right? Just a big giant hole filled in with organic, decomposed organic matter from around the farm or the side of the road, or sometimes, you know, I used to be more active in the neighborhood, and I knew where people had like giant piles of rotting logs, and if I rented a truck, I just threw all that shit in the back of the truck and just dumped it here. Or tons and tons of wood chips as I chase down companies that do that work. I say, hey man, I got a place where you can dump it. Get the organic material from the environment, make a big giant hole, but mix it in. You don't do a big hole of pure organic soil. You got to have a lot of the native soil. The healthier the hole, the healthier the plant, in my opinion. In my experience, going on like, you know, Dad was planting fruit trees in our backyard in Palm Springs is my earliest view, in vegetables and rabbits, chicken, dog, cat, tortoise, snake. Since my earliest memories, they're immigrants. So these immigrant people never went to a store to go get their organics. They just looked around and said, "That I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna grab this shit. I'm gonna hunt that down. I'm gonna grab, all free, all destined to be thrown away, this organic material." And you harvest it and you just pile it up, and you got a big pile of organic matter super quick. If you just start gathering and go more into gathering the organic mode rather than I'm gonna go buy a bag of shit. I hope I've turned you on to fruiting bushes. I hope you subscribe, hit notification thing, whatever, and come along for the ride. Love you. Bye.